Hi, welcome to this quick video introducing you to one of the tools that I use for finding what to buy to sell on Amazon. It's called Arbitrage Hero, and basically it's a software service that lets you log in from anywhere, so you can be on your mobile phone or at home, and you can use it for several things. The main thing that I use it for right now is for finding retail products that have a good price that can be resold on Amazon for a profit. So I'm going to take you through my sort of quick routine, how I log in, what you see, how I assess what to buy, what not to buy. Now, I'll say up front, everyone does this differently. So depending on what you care about, what your business model is, what funds you've got available for buying, whether you've got retail stores near you or you're just looking to buy things online, these will all affect what type of decision you might make. So I'm not going to try and tell you what you should do. I'm just going to show you how I look at the tool and how I find what I'll buy with it. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the front page of the website for Arbitrage Hero, and Max, the guy that runs the tool and owns it, I've known some products that he's done previously over the years, and he's always done very good work, so it was almost a no-brainer for me to check this out. It's one of those things though that when you're first starting, you're probably going to be really careful about what you're spending, what tools you start with, whether you need them or not to begin with, and this is a paid tool, so you may decide when you're beginning either this is really useful and makes all the difference, so you want it, or you just don't want to spend an extra monthly amount until you've got your head around how things work. So I won't go through the whole front end of the website, but basically you can see there's an annual payment or there's a monthly. So £37 a month. You get a 14-day trial, so you can test it out, have a play with it, see whether it's going to be any good for you. And I know a lot of beginners that I've spoken to who haven't tried to do the manual sourcing themselves have had a quick look at this, not really understood what they're seeing, not got their head around the fact that the APIs that the tools use and hook into the stores don't always bring you back equivalent things. So if you look at it expecting it to be perfect, then you're going to be surprised. So if you look at the tool in the right way and just know how things work and sort of take things with a pinch of salt, then it can be really useful. So I'll go into the tool. The dashboard that you get presented with just sort of gives you some overall stats, and depending on whether you're sending in more countries or just one country, this stuff will all be different for you. So in the menu there's an option that says daily deals. Now this is Max's team basically using the tool and bringing up some of the things which might be relevant for people who just want one place to go, have a quick look and not go digging into particular stores. So you can see what you get presented with here is a list of products, some images, and you'll see a source image, which is the store that you might buy this from. Oh, actually that one is for Amazon, and this is the source image for the store that you might buy it from. So you can see the first image there is a product at John Lewis, so some sort of card holder, and then a link to Amazon. And then over on the right you've got a chart. Now these charts, you're going to see them across multiple tools, and they tend to be fed from the data provided by a service called Keeper. You may have heard of that, KEEPA.com. And again, one of the things you might want when you're starting is a subscription to Keeper, so that you can plug any any product into Keeper and it will give you all of this historical data. I'm not going to go into all about these charts right now because I'll do a separate video on Keeper and really go into all of the aspects of it. But basically what you're looking at as a quick overview is the pink line is telling you what the Amazon buy box price is, and the green line is telling you how often the product sells. Well, it's actually telling you what the selling rank of that product is. So if you look at this first one, the pink one is sort of all up and down all over the place, from £20 to almost 30, and the green line is almost non-existent, and you can see it crept up and up and up, and then it dropped suddenly, then it crept up and up and up and up, and that's basically all that's happened over the last month or so. So fundamentally, that tells you this thing doesn't sell very often and the price wildly changes. So that in itself would be enough for me to not even look at this. Now someone else might be fine with that. They might say, well, I'll do a bit more research, maybe there's only a couple of other sellers and they've only got 1 or 2 in stock, and you just want to join them and be one of the people who makes a sale occasionally. The tool is saying that the cost price is £14, and right now the buy box is £29, and so you'll make £7.86 if you spend 14, which on the face of it might be fine. So I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't think about these things, but I wouldn't touch this one. And the next one doesn't have a chart, so I would skip it, just because there's so many things you can find in here. Unless you've got more money than you can possibly spend, you don't need to spend time looking at things that don't have the data to quickly assess them. So the next one, you can see different chart completely here. Nice very wiggly green line, and a nice orange line, which is the sort of Amazon price. And you can see Amazon is sometimes on the listing, usually not. More often than not, they're not on the listing. And the selling rank has been slightly climbing over the last month or so. So you could infer that this might be quite a seasonal product, but the fact that the line is up and down basically means it's selling, because it's not strictly true that every time the line drops that equals 1 sale, but the rank of that item dropping does usually indicate at least 1 sale happened. Not necessarily, but that's the sort of rule that people go by. So if you look at this one, the selling rank is actually quite low. It's in a toys category. So right down here, yeah, leading up to Christmas, it was selling like hotcakes. And the price was fairly stable, didn't really drop down anywhere crazy from its starting price. But if you look at now, the cost price is basically £25. And sometimes this thing sells for less than that when Amazon are on the listing. So although it looks like it's a really good seller, and right now it's saying that you would make £7 if you spent 25, which is 28%, that relies on Amazon not being on the listing. And again, although I like the chart and how busy it is and that it's a seller, I wouldn't touch this just because it's only 28%, and that's only if Amazon aren't on the listing. So I would quickly rule this one out. I'd be interested because I'm seeing all the bounciness, which means lots of activity, but I would rule it out because Amazon are sometimes on the listing, and when they are, basically you have to lose money to sell your product. So usually that would make me avoid it. If we scroll down again, I mean, I'm looking at the images, but really my main sort of radar is on the charts. So the next one, I can see, okay, it's a bit bouncy, it's between 50 and 100,000. I probably wouldn't normally consider something like that, but I'll have a quick look, and I can see that there's a difference between the Amazon listing picture and the one being sent from the provider, which in this case is Boots. That's enough for me to not waste my time on it. Again, some people might go, it might be that the image that was fed out just isn't quite the same, but actually the product is, so might be fine. But again, I normally rattle through this quite quickly, so the fact that the API data is different would just make me not bother with it. And the next one, a little bit bouncy, I might be interested. It's 119% ROI. Looks like the product is the same. So okay, I might be interested in this one. 25 to 50 up to 75% selling rank. So it's not a massive seller. It's it's not selling that often, but it is selling fairly regularly, so I might be interested. And this is at Look Fantastic, so the buy price is £2.88. So in this case I would click on the Amazon link and have another look now, a little bit closer. So we know that we can buy it for £2.88. You may not be familiar with all these tools. What you can see on my screen now on the left is a tool called Seller Amp, and that's pre-populated all the information based on the link that just opened in Amazon. This is doing a few things. It's checking, am I eligible to sell this? Again, depending on where you're at in your Amazon journey, you may be gated for some products, and this will tell you if you're eligible or not. And then also it's giving you that overall information. I've plugged into it basically a minimum of £3 profit and 30% ROI. So if the data doesn't go above those amounts, then it will color code it accordingly. In this case, it's saying don't pay more than £3.33 for this thing if you want to make your £3 profit. Again, I'll do a separate video on that tool, but it just pops up, so I also get to see it whenever I open a product in Amazon. On the right hand side, we've got another tool called BuyBotPro, which again, I'll do a deeper dive video for that separately, but this is usually the one that I do most of the research in. So what did we say the price was for this? £2.88 at Look Fantastic. And I can click on the link that goes to Look Fantastic just to be doubly sure that it is the same product. So looks the same, 50ml. So what I'll do is highlight most of this URL, not all of it, because some of it's got other data in just for populating the price on Amazon, or in the tool, sorry. So I'll come back to Amazon. We know this was $2.87. Right now it's not showing a price, so I can scroll down. Again, you might not see these. My Keeper plugin is feeding the Keeper data through to my browser as well, so I can see here how often this thing is sold in the last 3 months, the last year, what sort of price it generally goes for. So I can see the buy box usually was around £11. So if I plug in £11 as the sell price, and then find out what the tool thinks about whether I should bother with this or not. So BuyBotPro's analysed it. Again, it's doing some checks, so it's telling me yes, I am eligible to sell it. Green means no problem, so it's not a hazardous material or part of Amazon's hazmat program. It's not classed as dangerous goods in any other way, and I'm eligible. So then I'll see the data on it. Basically, I'm doing a quick look at what's the BuyBotPro score. Is it saying it's good or average or above average? And then how many times does it sell and for what type of profit? So there's one seller on it right now. They look quite a random seller, so nothing to do with the brand. And basically it looks like they've been the only seller of this for months. The fact that the number there is 7 means they've got 7 in stock. The fact that it's in blue means that they're not actually shipping this to Amazon for Amazon to fulfill. They're holding on to it themselves, and then they're shipping directly to the customer if a sale happens. Usually I wouldn't do that for normal small items like this, unless they don't sell very often. But for big items I might consider doing that rather than paying for one box to ship one item into Amazon. So this one, BuyBotPro, saying it's a good one. It sells 14 times a month. Looks a little bit seasonal actually, because December was the best month. The other months are just a few times a month. But again, there's only one seller. They've only got 7 of them. Because I'm doing FBA, if you do FBA and you go and match their price, you're as likely or slightly more likely usually to get the sale. So normally I would just go share with this person, match their price, don't try and undercut them, and just send a few of these in and let them trickle out on their own. 120% ROI, which is £3.46 profit on a £2.87 spend. So actually not a bad little product. Again, it's not something I get massively excited about because it only sells a few times a month, and yeah, it's not that that exciting a product that I would go crazy about it. But yeah, I might buy a few of these. So that was just an easy spot on Arbitrage Hero. Just looking, yeah, the information is the same, the data seems valid, it sells a few times, dig a bit deeper. So if we scroll down, have a look at another one. Let's have a look. This one's nice and bouncy. So I'd think, okay, nice and bouncy. It's only sort of 10 to 40,000 in the toy category, which is a decent rank because there are lots of toys. So this one, this £36.99 to buy, and it sells for £76.98. Nice margin there. So you're going to make £24 profit, or 65% on that product. So again, I'd have a look at this one. It's at the range, it's a Lego product, £36.99. Again, I'll just go to the range link, copy that, and then click on the Amazon one. And then again, my tools will load up and I would just use them to validate, is this the same product? Is it actually selling for that price? How often does it sell? How many sellers are there to compete with? So it's already got the prices loaded in, so I'll just click Analyze. And again, this tool is telling me 52% above average, which is decent. You can sort of tell it how much money you've got to spend, and it will suggest the number of these you might want to buy. In this case, basically it's saying the break-even price is £48.64. It's currently selling for £71.97. So if you just matched the current buy box price, which is £71.97, by another FBA seller, then you would make 51%, or £19 per sale. So not a bad product. It sells 54 times a month, so that's a nice and active one. Amazon aren't on the listing anywhere, so nice looking little product that actually. So that's something I would probably buy. The reason that I went to the source store and copied the link, which I didn't show on the last page that loaded up, was part of the BuyBotPro tool is that you can export its analysis data. So if I paste the source URL, like which store, like the link to the product on the store where you could go buy this, and then export this data to my buy sheet. So if I open that up, you'll see now a new line just appeared on this new sheet with this Lego product, with the product name, the ASIN, the category, the buy price, the sell price, all that data that we just saw on BuyBotPro is now in my spreadsheet. And so if you want to build yourself a list of things that you've researched that you want to go buy, and then when you buy them and want to list them on Amazon, you need all that data again. What was the ASIN for that product again? How much should I be selling it for? That's already here for you. So it's a good practice to get into if you've got some of these tools, to sort of do the steps in this way. So you see the data, you go check it out, you export it into a spreadsheet, and then when you go buy it, you can say I bought 2 of these at this price, and you know where you are. The way I keep track of my sales is in another tool, which I'll make another video on separately, because again, there's a lot to that other tool. I'll just quickly show you. It's called Seller Toolkit. And so if I go to it, it loads up a dashboard like lots of these things do, and I can basically see what's going on today, a bit of a quiet day today, how many products are sold, what my inventory is and all that sort of good stuff. And this is how I can track the sales. And so there's basically a nice little chain of things from how do I find a product? Go to Arbitrage Hero. Where should I buy it? From the place in Arbitrage Hero. How should I list it with Amazon? Here's the ASIN, here's the data that says how often it sells, how many sellers there are, what money you'll make if it sells at that price, and you can make a determination based on what you care about. I personally usually look for at least £5 profit and at least 50% ROI, although I do tend to look for things that are over 100% ROI because they are out there. So yeah, in fact, that on this spreadsheet you can see the one above was 128% ROI. So it's quite a simple process. If you've got these tools, it just makes it a no-brainer really. You can easily go do this. You can figure out what to buy, what you should pay for it, how likely it is to sell in what sort of time, and make yourself a sheet with all the data about these on, so that when you do buy them, if you order them online, you can make a separate sheet with all this data in and say when you bought it, when it arrived, when you shipped it to Amazon. You can track all of this sort of stuff. Like I say, I generally use Seller Toolkit to see the overview of what's going on right now, how many things have we got in the inventory, how many things have I sold today, for how much, what sort of profit, all that sort of thing. But as far as the research is concerned, I've got a few tools. I've got a virtual assistant who's manually searching for things every day and making me a nice sheet with all this sort of data in, so that I can go and see what she's found. And then I also use a couple of services. There's Thomas's Fast Track FBA, which I'll do a separate video on. And again, I'm not going to go into all of those now. This video was just the Arbitrage Hero version of this flow. So hopefully that's giving you a little bit of insight. Like I say, if I just go back to Arbitrage Hero and scroll around a bit, you'll see actually this one's not too bad. Different stores have different APIs and provide better or worse data and images to others. So you can see here there's an image that looks different on the Amazon one compared to the source. And again, you can see the ROI is 550%. So that automatically makes me think something's not right here. And so what you will see sometimes, different stores are worse or better than others. This one is from beauty outlets, and you can see the picture is different, and so it doesn't sell much anyway, so I wouldn't even bother looking at it. But I automatically filter based on the fact that those images are not the same. I think, okay, not wasting my time, the chart looks rubbish anyway, just move on. So if the chart's not good or the images are different, there may still be an opportunity there, but I just don't bother with it. So you can see there, I'm not going to go through all these products, and that's literally just the daily deals section of Arbitrage Hero, which can be pulling from multiple stores. So you can see there's Argos, there's beauty outlets, there's B&M stores, beauty outlets, Morrison's. So that particular screen, the daily deals, if you did nothing else, you could just log in there and go find things to buy. Very simple. You don't need to do anything else. What I usually do is go to the online arbitrage section and go to analyze products. And I need to log in again now because I've been nattering for so long. So if I go to online arbitrage, analyze products, you can then select a retailer. So if I choose Cocoon Center, again, you can put your parameters in. I've just put some generic ones that say minimum 20% ROI, minimum £2 profit, and don't want Amazon on the listing. And so this has gone and brought back the data from Cocoon Center. So you can see the first one there. The product looks the same. The prices are not too different. 23% profit, so the data is probably correct. The chart is quite nice, quite bouncy. The price tends to be around £17.50, £18. It's a little bit higher at the moment. It does go up as high as 25. Doesn't really go down lower than that, so you're probably not easily going to be able to lose money on this product, but what you make can be quite different. So yeah, these are all from this particular store, Cocoon Center, and as you can see, the pictures, some of them are a little bit different. Those are basically blatantly not the same product. Most of them seem okay, so this store's data is pretty good. There are some weird ones in there, and again, if you just confirm the images are the same, look at the data and see whether the charts are not moving or whether they're nice and bouncy, and then see whether the, like that 28% ROI I wouldn't bother with, but some people would. So you can make your own decision when you're in these tools about what you would and wouldn't buy. But it's very quick and very easy to either just go to the daily deals and find just one thing or a few things that you think you want to buy, or go to a particular store that you like ordering from, or you've got a rewards card for, or you get cash back from, or you've got vouchers for, and then just place an order, or if it's a retail one, just go visit them and buy from your local store. So it's all very simple. The one other thing that I will call out on this particular one, if I go to wholesale, you can actually upload product data sheets from wholesalers into here, and it will do the same sort of tasks with those. So I've added a couple here, Harrison's and Zappy's. If I go to wholesale and analyze products, I can choose from the wholesale data sheets that I've put in what ones to search in. So if I go to Harrison's and say find me some products with a bit of profit on, it will go look at that database. A couple of them don't have keeper charts, but you can see here there's a couple of products, a couple of these Playmobil ones. These are based purely on what was in the spreadsheet, and I remember when I put this one in, I basically cut out a whole section of Playmobil products that Harrison's had. So you can see this one, Playmobil Advent Calendar. Obviously it's very seasonal, but it's still been selling away quite happily through January as well. And right now you could still make £11 or 47% on one of those if you bought it from Harrison's and sold it on Amazon. There may be some other costs involved, maybe some shipping and things like that, so the wholesaler ones are a little bit of a different thing from the retail arbitrage, because there may be some shipping, there may be some VAT not included, you may have to buy a certain number of them or place an order of a certain value minimum, so the dynamics are a little bit different. But fundamentally, Arbitrage Hero has this ability for you to chuck a spreadsheet into it and it will show you the same type of thing as it does for its other data. So it can be really handy, that. I've got another tool that I usually use for that sort of thing, I'll cover in another video. So I'm not going to give you too much more than that right now. That should be enough to get on with. So if you're just starting, you don't have any other tools, obviously when you load up Amazon you're not going to see all the BuyBotPro and SAS stuff that I have, but to be honest you don't need that. If you go to Keeper, in fact I'll do that now, I'll go to Keeper just to make sure that I'm not assuming too much about what you know. And again, if I find one of these products, the ASIN is the unique ID code that Amazon will use to find that product in its catalog. When you come to an Amazon page, up in the URL bar there are some characters here. You can see amazon.co.uk/dp/ actually, you might not be able to see it because I think I'm recording the screen up to where that bar is, but there's a little set of figures there, and also if you've got one of these tools, it will tell you what the ASIN is, and same with SAS. And also if you scroll down in the description somewhere, there will be the ASIN. So without the tool, if you've got the tools, they'll tell you the ASIN. Without the tools, you can look up in the URL and have a look at that little bit of code, or you can just look at the ASIN in the description. If you just copy that and then go to Keeper and do a search, you can just give it the ASIN. I actually have the Keeper mobile app as well, so when I'm out and about shopping, if one of the tools I'm using doesn't give me as much data as I want, Keeper mobile will let you scan the barcode of the product as well. So you can use it when you're out and about to get this sort of sales history data as well. I'll do a separate video on Keeper another time, but again, basically, if you only had Keeper and nothing else, you can find some products. If you're struggling to find the products in the first place, then something like Arbitrage Hero will solve that part of the problem for you. So I'll leave it there for now. If you're new to this, that's probably a bit of an information overload for you. If you've looked at this stuff before but not familiar with Arbitrage Hero, then hopefully that will have given you a little bit of an insight into how to quickly go through it and find things to buy that are definitely going to be profitable. Okay, so until the next video, thanks for your time. See you again.